All right. Welcome to This Is Our Year, the Minnesota Football Show. Something's a little different now.
You're
We are,
kidding.
yeah, no, this is new. It's something big.
Unprecedented.
It's big for us. Yeah. If you're listening to us where you usually get your podcasts, you might not know, but you might be watching us on YouTube or something like that, which is pretty cool. It's a big step for us. Anyway, obviously, you know me. I'm Mikey Kalpikoff. With me, as always, Kerry Armagost and Austin Southers.
Austin's down there.
How do you do?
Mikey's. My camera's reversed. Mikey's over here.
I decided I would make sure to mirror my camera so that the way that I point is correct for me.
Oh,
We
you're
got Kerry.
going to do that.
We got
I'm
Austin.
pointing, and if I. This is right, but it appears left. You're going
Right,
to see
no.
me do that.
Super cool stuff, though. Anyway,
We've been
that's
wanting to do this
that
for a while.
we have, and we've been talking about it, and you know, there hasn't been a better time than right now to do it. So I think this is certainly a big new step for us. We're happy to have you here with us. But that's not the biggest news that we have for today. Obviously, unless you've been living under a rock, at this point, you will have heard that Brian Flores is the new defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings. That means the Fangio-style defense that we have come to know and love in our one season is now a thing of the past. The Vikings are going to just blitz so much. What was that?
I wouldn't use the term used to and love. I don't think a lot of Vikings fans were really loving how the defense was playing and looking most of this season.
No, certainly not. Really, I think the only thing that I really loved about it was just how well Patrick Peterson seemed to fit into that scheme. He was one of very few players to have a very, very good year. But again, it was very few. Oh, yeah. I mean,
No,
Kendricks, he was one, he had career lows in blitzes and pressures. He had only 32 blitzes, only 5 pressures, and he was targeted more than ever. Like, we've been talking all this season about how it was always just so open in the middle of the field. And he was targeted more than ever. He had 63 completions for a 74.1% completion against him, tying his 2021 year, which, again, was not good. He seems like maybe things weren't working out so well for Eric Kendricks in his last year in the Mike Zimmer system, which was a very aggressive system, but defensively, that is, of course. But it certainly did not translate over to the Donatel Fangio style defense either. But
hey, and maybe I kept saying, I was like, get Kendricks out of here, get Daniil out of here, get Cesario Smith out, all these expensive veterans, get them out of here. But hey, I'm willing to give anybody a shot now that we've got this new defense. Hey, you want to come back? Come on back. We're not trading you. Come on back. In fact, let's extend you.
This kind of changes everything as far as like what we were thinking about they were maybe going to do for the future of this franchise defensively. I kind of thought that maybe they were going to stick with the same type of a scheme, and that was possible. I think even when we were thinking about some of these other candidates, but Flores shakes things up in a really good way. I think it goes back to some of these Mike Zimmer roots in kind of more ways than one. Flores is also this kind of a real hard ass guy.
Oh yeah,
I think it'll be a good
the NFL.
yin yang to Kevin O'Connell, absolutely. But yeah, you're right. He did sue the NFL.
I don't think there's going to be. I still think there's going to be a big rehaul and repackaging of this defense. I don't think it's just going to change with a new defensive coordinator. I still think we're going to see a lot of old faces leave and a lot of new faces come in, because the way I look at it is our defense is kind of like a lemon of a car. bring it into a dealership, just because you put a new coat of paint on it and detail the inside doesn't mean the car is going to run any better. That motor's still worn down and has a lot of miles on it. And I think that's the next problem we need to address on the defense. We got the new coordinator in now, but we need to start looking at personnel on the field and seeing who really can we keep and who's a liability.
Yeah, and like that whole thing has kind of changed. I think if we were to stick with the Donatel Vic Fangio type system, it seems like for a guy like Harrison Smith, we were paying him way too much money. But this is a matchup that I am just so excited about. But before we can get into that, I just got a few things, obviously to read about his career here. If you look down at the bottom ticker, yeah, we have a ticker now, which is really cool.
He sued the NFL.
He did. That's another thing on there in his career. But he won 4 Super Bowls with the Patriots from 2004 to 2018.
Which is insane because, we were thinking when we got KOC, it was like, oh, finally, a guy with Super Bowl pedigree. And he had one.
Yeah.
This guy's 4.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, he was calling, I believe he called defensive plays in the 2018 Super Bowl, which is
3 points.
Huge. He coached Devin McCourty and the Patriots defense through 3 Super Bowls, 4 on his own, but 3 with McCourty. During the lawsuits, like we were talking about, the McCourty brothers, both Devin and Jason, who I believe Jason was a Miami Dolphin at one point, so he worked with him too. Both of them just spoke very, very highly of him. They called him a special individual and pivotal in their careers. So, I mean, that's high praise from some very, very good players. Obviously, though, Flores, no doubt he's going to throw a lot of different looks in on the defensive line. But again, like I said, I'm most excited for what he's going to do in the safety room and this defense at large. When he was the head coach in Miami, Brandon Jones was somebody who really broke out, and I think that that's going to be kind of the place where Harrison Smith is. He was more of the blitzer most of the time. He did a lot of things with 3 safety looks through a lot of his time, and that's something that is super exciting, being that, Lewis Seen is going to be coming back. Cam Bynum is still a guy, and it really does look like at times Harrison Smith can be a guy. It's just that he wasn't being used, and that was really what we were talking about all of this season. Again, Brandon Jones broke out with Flores, and we know how aggressive Flores can be. Jones, through the 2020 and 2021 seasons with the Dolphins, as a safety, he was brought in to blitz 110 times in 2 seasons. That's averaging 55 blitzes per season with his 2 seasons under Flores. So I think we can really, really expect such a change from what we saw this last year with our defense, especially with Harrison Smith. When we're talking about who's going to be a cap casualty, I think there was always the possibility that Harrison was going to be on that list before, but I think with Flores in, I don't think that's going to happen at all.
And especially, you get a new guy coming in, a new defensive coach. You want to keep the guys, the veterans. At this point, you do kind of want to keep some of them around because, those are guys that, when Flores is trying to explain something, right? And maybe some of the younger guys are like, yeah. Harrison can kind of more explain it in terms like, no, this is just like what we did last year with the this and this. Guys like Kendricks and Harrison Smith can, almost kind of be defensive assistants. That's part of the job as being a captain. You're not only like representing your team, but you're being, kind of also the communicator between the defensive coordinator and maybe some of the younger guys on the team. What do you think, Austin?
Just because you put a bow tie on a piece of crap doesn't make it anything other than a piece of crap. I'm excited. Yeah, this is, I think, out of the guys we were given on the short list of who was going to be our defensive coordinator, I think this is the best option we could have done. But I just got to be frank, the last few years has been just a gradual decline in players on defense. And it's just because we have a new coach, a new coordinator, I don't think is going to change a lot of these 30-plus-year-old defenders. Would I like it to? Yes. in a perfect world, I would love to see Smith, Kendrick, and Hunter all come back and have a major like revival season. Do I think it's all three of them are going to have that ability just because we have a new defensive coordinator? No. I still think there's holes in the ship that we need to plug, and the old plugs that we're using just aren't fitting those holes anymore.
Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, I think the nice thing about Flores is just how different it's going to be, and it seems like what he wants to do, it's going to rely a lot on cornerbacks. From everything I heard, I think it would be surprising if we left the draft / free agency without picking up at least 2 or 3 cornerbacks. So there is going to be a lot of turnover. And I guess where we really need to turn it over with some of these veterans, there's a lot of time to find out.
There remains to be
the
seen.
season isn't over yet, so we're not going to be seeing some of these moves until a little bit later. It's possible. It's still possible that some people like Eric Kendricks might be taking a walk. I mean, maybe even Zadarius Smith or Daniil Hunter for some picks, as much as it hurts to say. But I mean, these things are still on the table. But I think that Harrison Smith and Brian Flores are very much a match made in heaven here.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to ask me out of kind of like the group of defenders that we've had since around, I think, 2017, say Harrison Smith is the clear choice. I mean, this last season, I really thought we got to see glimpses of, oh, yeah, this is why he's one of the most kind of like talked about make offensive players scared safeties in the league. But no, I agree. And at the same time, I think we have a lot of cap going towards defensive players. And a lot of those defensive players that are getting those caps kind of like not been able to show up from year to year in the last few years. So, I mean, there's a lot of big questions that are coming up. And I mean, I don't want to, I mean, it's still early with Flores because we have to actually see him play and get on the field and coach, actually, not play. But I don't know. It's really cool to see the last couple of years how these front office changes or new members of the team are really kind of shaking up this team more than you typically would guess a coordinator do or something. So it's fun. I'm just kind of it's fun to get this kind of hype talk or maybe popularity in the media right now because of these moves that the Vikings are getting.
Yeah, no, certainly. It's fun. It's good stuff. So I do have a question for you guys, though. How well do you remember last season? So currently the score here, Austin 21, Carey 20. We said at the beginning of this thing, win by 2. So Austin, your destiny is in your hands today. You could take this thing right now. But the thing is that you got the last question right. So the question does belong to Carey. Should you choose to accept it?
Real quick, Mike, can we, now that we're on camera, I really want to know if this guy's getting everything from here. Can we do a little hands-free, me and Austin? Or are you too much of a chicken? Are you too much of a chicken? Keep those hands there, pal.
Okay. Are you ready for your question?
Yes.
Okay. Last season, how many times did Harrison Smith blitz the QB?
Now, Mikey, I think we might have a little bit of a problem here.
What's the problem?
I think the answer is in our ticker.
Nope. No, it's not. That's this season's stats.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got a little bit of a advantage. Austin has to know that as well. I would,
I don't know it, so.
So I'm going to put it on the ticker right now, Austin, so that you can see those stats.
Yes, these are some of his stats for this year: 5 interceptions, 10 pass deflections, 1 TFL, 9 blitz, 0 QB hits, 0 sacks, 0 forced fumbles.
Mikey, I'm going to say 15.
15? Is that your final answer? Are you locked in?
Yes.
All right. Well, Austin, how about you?
I'll go 14.
Locked in? Final answer?
I'm locked in.
Well, here's the updated score. Austin 21, Carey 21. And let me just say that neither of you were even at all close.
Oh, what was it, like 35?
No, if you look at how many times he was blitzed, 9 blitzes this season, that is by far a total career low. It was 40 last season, which was
I wanted to go high. But that's why I wish, Carey, you didn't bring that up. Because I initially was going to guess like 38, but then Carey's like, well, he should know on the ticker. And that's what made me reevaluate it.
Yeah, well, that is his high since Pro Football Reference started tracking that stat in 2018, 40. And that's something that he has been very good at. And it was something that Ed Donatel, or maybe it was just the scheme, whatever the case, they did not utilize that talent of his. He was able to get, a little bit more things in coverage. He had his 5 interceptions, which is really good. That's a really great season for him. But that is not what he is best at. So I'm definitely very excited to see what is happening next.
I blurred out. Austin, do you want to see what could have been? Because I also have ticker access. Ooh. We'll have to get me next time, buddy.
Wait, what?
No, it's all okay. But yeah, that was last season's stats for Harrison Smith. Carey, you're having some camera issues.
Yeah, it looks like I'm blurred out again. I look like the mystery guest star. They're not quite willing to reveal who I am yet.
Right, exactly. So I guess let's talk about some things going on around the league. To start off, how about the Pro Bowl games? Did you guys catch it at all?
No, I didn't.
I was actually trying to get myself back into focus. I'm not sure how to do that. I was playing pool at a pool hall and did not even realize that they were happening until I saw them on the TV. And I went, whoa, it's the Pro Bowl games. And it was like flag football. But every time I looked up, there was a touchdown, it seemed like. It seemed like it was such a short touchdown. And did they only play 2?
Well, what they did, there were 3 total games. They played one with, I think, Tyler Huntley, Pro Bowl quarterback. Yeah, Tyler Huntley. I think he threw 5 touchdowns during that thing. So, yeah, it was a lot of touchdowns. Who were the other NFC quarterbacks? There was Kirk and Jared Goff and Geno Smith, I think, played in that first game as well against Tyler Huntley. Then the second game was Trevor Lawrence dueling against Jared Goff. And that one, Jared Goff did not look good. I will say that. Austin and I, we talked about, ranking the QBs this year. And, honestly, you look at all the stats from Jared Goff throughout this year, he was like a top 6 QB. Yeah, it's hard to find a better QB.
Especially, if you can just take out the early season losses from his season, he was on a roll that was unprecedented. That Lions team, when they hit, was it week 8, week 9 when they started going on that tremendous win streak? Or it might have been a little bit before, maybe week 7, but credit has to be given to where credit is due, and Jared Goff is really a really good QB. I know a lot of people thought the Lions kind of got finessed in that trade, and I think they actually got a really good deal out of it.
But anyway, with this game, the second game, what they decided to do, they kept the score after the second game, which AFC was ahead, and AFC got points in the Pro Bowl games for winning that second game. But for some reason, when they moved to the third game, they left the score up from the second game, and the NFC was down like a touchdown. And Kirk, he came in and he
I saw
got
one kind of like scrambled in the pocket. He scrambled in the pocket. And
yeah, the highlight. Yeah, that was he looked good. He looked very good. Kirk has had some not so good moments in Pro Bowl history. I remember they tried like instead of a punt, it was like the experimental 4th and 15 where you get to try to just like bomb it down the field. I think he threw the first interception on what they would call a punt attempt. So he's had some kind of infamous moments in the Pro Bowl, but no, he looked very good in the Pro Bowl. TJ Hawkinson was.
What I like about Kirk is that he, it's the Pro Bowl. Everyone's chill. No one's wearing helmets, so you can really see everyone's faces. And Kirk is sitting there. I wish I had a football on me. He's sitting there. And he's going, he's doing the normal Kirk faces where he looks like he's getting like a vasectomy or something whenever he throws the ball. He's just like, it's like super painful.
Have you guys ever seen those videos of like Tiger Woods when he's like golfing, but he's not like golfing well, and he's like, "Come on, Tiger," or he's just like beating himself up on the pitch? I just imagine that's like Kirk Cousins. Like he's his biggest hater. You know how they always say that you're your biggest critic. Just imagine him in his own head, or just like, "Come on, Kirk."
Well, and he's a competitive dude, so I mean, I bet he was actually one of the most into the game guys at the Pro Bowl, where he wanted to win probably.
Well, I mean, that was another thing that they said about him during these Pro Bowl games is that nobody took more notes than Kirk Cousins at the Pro Bowl. Which I guess you're around some of the best players in the league. I mean, maybe not so much this year as far as quarterback. Like Kirk Cousins, maybe Trevor Lawrence was better than him or is better than him. Like maybe, but he might be the best quarterback at the Pro Bowl this year because it was funny when you look at the AFC side. Patrick Mahomes, he was nominated. He can't go. He's going to the Super Bowl. Josh Allen, he said that he couldn't go due to an injury, but he was in a golf tournament that weekend, and Joe Burrow just didn't go. So then they were left with Trevor Lawrence, Derek Carr, and Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley threw more interceptions than touchdowns this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think he only threw like 2 touchdowns, and that was enough. I mean, to get a Pro Bowl.
I could have went and played for the AFC.
Yeah.
Well, how many games did Taylor Huntley even start?
9?
7?
Ooh,
sad.
Wow!
He didn't start half the season.
He only threw 2 touchdowns in all those games.
It was half the season, right?
Just about. I mean, it seemed like they were just pushing on, Lamar never came back. Like he just got injured and he just didn't come back. I don't know how many weeks it was, but not.
Yeah. I don't know. The Pro Bowl this
great.
year
Yeah.
really didn't. I don't think it did a good job at getting people to watch it.
I do think it was good, though.
No, I mean, it's fun. Yeah, it's a fun product, but like, I'm not a fan of this flag football. I get it. You don't want players to get hurt, but at the same time, with the idea of the Pro Bowl is you're inviting enough players that they don't have to play more than a quarter typically.
Yeah, but
did you guys see
Josh Jacobs? Because it is so much faster than what they had been doing, where it was basically 2-hand touch in the last few years. At least this way, guys are sprinting and like, I don't know. You would never.
Kirk in the pocket. Look at him.
I don't.
It was a lot more fun
if you're gonna do stuff like this, get rid of stuff like this and do skill challenges. Don't do it. I'm just not a big fan of the game. But like
they did do some skill challenges, but it just wasn't as much as maybe back in the day, which I like to see.
They have like no, I would too. And also I'm still on team. We need to have I want a Pro Bowl game. I want an actual game, let the boys play.
Yeah, I guess.
Did you see what Josh Jacobs said?
No.
He was like,
that's my name too.
Somebody asked him what he thought this year, and he was like, this expletive starting with S is so dumb, or something like that.
I mean, it's been a joke. The Pro Bowl's been a joke, but I do like that they're trying to like reinvent it a little bit. I think that's the right move. Like Don't just
Yeah.
let it be the joke that it is. If it's going to be a joke, at least let it be like
Your
a
joke.
little bit more bearable, you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the
I
flag
wasn't.
football. It was fun.
I think take notes of the NBA. The NBA knows how to do all-star games and get people to come watch it. So yeah, do stuff like that, maybe a little bit more. Or I don't know, it would be cool maybe. This is a horrible idea, like what you said, Carrie. I think a while if you have take the worst team in the NFL and make them play like the college football champions. Do
It'd be
something like
fun.
that or something.
It'd be a scouting
I know it'd be
showcase
more
too.
fun than
I mean,
it would be more fun than what we're getting now. Or if we did like it would be cool maybe do like against like if the CFL or XFL or whatever can become big enough, do like forbidden like hidden doors, like do team inter league games or something.
That could be cool. I mean, and again, like
I just think there's
XFL's only
better
getting
ideas
big.
in a flag. No,
take the bet, have guys make the Pro Bowl roster, and then do what they did a couple of years ago. Have like some NFL All Stars draft them onto teams, and then have them play. I mean,
there was one thing that I did really enjoy about watching this Pro Bowl. It was at the very end, and like they were all learning. There's certainly some different rules in flag football. Like one of them being you can't run it when you're inside the 5-yard line because it's just, I don't know, I guess it's just too easy.
Yeah.
So
it'd actually be too hard to reach in there and grab a. It's easy to prevent the ball from passing, but to actually grab a flag,
Right. So, I mean, like, whatever the case, that's a rule. You can't run it from inside the 5. NFC was up, and Kirk asked the ref, he said, hey, can I just kneel this out? And the ref said, yeah. And Peyton Manning, as soon as Kirk took a knee, he storms out onto the field. He goes, that's a penalty. That's a penalty. You can't run it inside the 5. And Kirk is arguing with him. Kirk says, well, he told me I could take a knee. And he goes, that's a penalty. So it ended very excitingly, but certainly some AFC people, Peyton Manning was very, very dissatisfied with that ending.
I was
It was kind of cool to see him and Kirk jawing a little bit.
Austin, you missed it. I've got a board hooked up.
I didn't. I heard it. I heard it. Say it again. I'm a Team Eli.
They showed out.
Hey, where are all the Eli Manning fans out there? It's supposed to be crickets. You can't really hear it that well.
That wasn't a very good cricket.
No, not very good at all. We're learning.
All right, let's be done with the Pro Bowl games though. But Derek Carr has just received permission to visit the Saints.
He did visit them today.
I like it. I liked it a lot, actually. I was looking at that. I mean, I know a few years back, I said Derek Carr reminds me a little bit of a Drew Brees. And I think that's a team that has talent. We don't know the expiration date on some of the talent just because we haven't seen them, I think, play a full season. But, I mean, Derek Carr over there, you got Alvin Kamara.
They're very much like the Raiders. It's like the Raiders. You got a young.
Oh yeah, I think it's
back.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a very similar situation.
Saying, a lot lines up, but I don't know. It seems like the Saints are like the NFC equivalent of the Raiders almost.
No, I could agree with that. I mean, a good defense. It's a team that really just looked like it's been missing a QB, and I think this is a really good. It would be a really good spot for Derek Carr because I think he has a lot of naysayers who don't really believe in him all the way, which I mean I get because he hasn't proved a lot. But I think this would be a good spot for him to kind of maybe show off like the talents he has and the abilities, and show that hey, I'm actually a NFL starting caliber QB. Don't look down on me. So no, I like the Derek Carr of the Saints. I didn't see it until today when it started popping up, and once I saw it, I was like, yeah, I could see it happening.
Yeah, no, it's certainly interesting. You're right. They have not been super satisfied with their quarterback situation. They started the year with Jameis Winston as the starter. Once he got injured, Andy Dalton came in, what seemed like it was kind of just as, a reserve for him, but certainly they weren't satisfied with Jameis Winston. And I mean, Andy Dalton didn't have a great season either. So it really does make sense that they are looking elsewhere, even if that's to a veteran like Derek Carr.
Andy Dalton's career is probably over then, huh?
Probably.
Yeah. Red Rocket has ways of kind of landing himself on like certain teams. I wouldn't be surprised maybe his days of starting QB are coming to an end, but I think he's still a very capable backup QB.
Right. He might find his way into starting with, some unfortunate injury. Like we maybe haven't seen the last of him. How about Matt Ryan, though? I mean, that's just he's probably done.
I don't know. Yeah,
he would have retired by now, though. You think, right? He would have announced his retirement by now.
Would he though? Because does he want to have does he want to be overshadowed by Brady in the 2028 Hall of Fame class? Will he stick it out for one more year, make a little bit more money, and then maybe get to headline his own class?
Is he first ballot though?
He is not. Matt Ryan is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer. But no, I don't
even know if he'll go in by the time we're 50.
Yeah, he will. He statistically very good QB. Set a lot of paces at a very young age. One of the younger QBs to hit certain milestones. The only thing that he's missing is that Super Bowl. He has an MVP. Pretty sure he has a touchdown season, leading the season with touchdowns. He has a lot of those kind of key QB stats that you need from a QB. He just doesn't have that ring. So I do think Matt Ryan's a Hall of Famer. First ballot, no. If he's going to retire this year, I think he's going to do it March 28th.
Wow.
28-3.
Yeah. That's why I get it now. Oh, that's good. Good one, man. All right. Let's move on there. It's worth mentioning DeMar Hamlin wins the Alan Page Award for just doing good in the community. His toy drive ended up raising what, like $10 million? $4 million? Yeah. Something crazy. I've been seeing, like, when I saw that was announced, I saw a lot of people commenting. It's like, yeah, well, was he even in the running before December? It's like, I don't know, man. Should that really matter? What matters is, first of all, the guy, he's alive, and what he was able to do, it brought light to his charity, and whether or not you feel like he earned it on the field, it is well deserved.
And humanitarian in general, raising CPR awareness,
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it. That's what this award's for. It's not.
Right, we're not giving him MVP. Like, calm down, people.
It's not like he's winning the Walter Payton Man of the Year award, where it recognizes an outstanding individual. I believe the Alan
Page might next year.
Is more of maybe, if he does, if he is an outstanding citizen, he could. But I think the Alan Page one is more of kind of like bringing awareness to your foundation or your charity. And yes, we can all admit what the cause of bringing the eyes to his charity was a tragic event. He is very, very lucky to be alive, and that we fans and team members and people a part of the organization are very just thrilled for his well-being. I don't think we need to look down at this as like, oh, did he really deserve it? He brought awareness to his charity. He brought, like you said, how much money did they raise, Mikey?
Well, it was $8 million? It was a lot. Somewhere between 4 and 10 million. That is what I can confidently say.
And there you go. Boom. Like, yes.
And the CPR awareness. People are getting CPR certified and AED certified.
Which, I mean, is so important because literally that's what saved his life. Bringing him back to life, CPR. So, I mean, I'm all for this. I think congratulations to him. And honestly, let's give some recognition also to first responders that were there on the field that day.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the guy has been through so much over the last few months. Let's not pile on him for an award that he did not choose. He didn't say, "Oh, whatever." Like, let's just not pile on the guy for it. Like, can you imagine if people would have been reacting like this, like the week that it happened? You would never see that. Now a little time has gone by and people are ready to just be like, "Oh, well, did he really deserve it?" I don't like that. That's something I hate to see.
Don't like it at all.
Yep. But let's move on. Aaron Rodgers says that he's going to be taking a retreat, and after this retreat, he will have a final decision on his plans for the rest of his career. In this retreat,
what kind of retreat? Yeah,
well,
what kind of
it's going to be
retreat?
a total darkness retreat is what it is. He plans to spend 4 days and nights in the dark, and that will give him clarity.
To each
I don't
their
know.
own.
I guess
Yeah,
so.
I
He's a real weirdo.
Play both darkness, but I mean, goodness.
No, I mean, there's something to be said about that kind of stuff. He seems to be more in touch with some of that stuff than a lot of people.
He's in touch with himself.
If I think about if Kirk Cousins were to do a lot of those things, like if Kirk Cousins were to take ayahuasca, he would have a bad trip and he would be a worse quarterback and probably a worse person from it. He would
come out and he'd be like ripping actual swear words.
He'd like have panic attacks on the field. Like, I don't think it would go well for Kirk. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Just thought that was interesting. We can move on from that though. Goodell.
Oh God, here we go.
You see this? He commented on the officiating this year, and he said, "I don't think it's ever been better." I just can't believe that. Like, from everything that we've been talking about and everything that we've heard, it seems like the league has to address some of these terrible calls coming at the most inopportune times.
Yeah,
and
the officiating is great for Roger.
I don't think it's ever been better.
It's great for him. All of his outcomes are coming true.
You get the Kelsey Bowl.
The NFL script this year, so yeah, we're doing good.
I will say, I thought about this during the Pro Bowl, but the Cowboys can't make the Pro Bowl and the Super Bowl, and the Bills can't make the Super Bowl because it is just too much fun to watch the Diggs brothers at the Pro Bowl. It's like, it's a staple. It's a tradition at this point. The Diggs is the Pro Bowl belongs to the Diggs brothers. You can't send either of them to the Super Bowl. It's just too much fun.
Weren't both Kirk brothers at the Super Bowl as well? Super Bowl?
No, I don't think James Cook was in the Pro Bowl. He may have been there, but he wasn't in it.
I don't know. You can never tell when somebody starts Tyler Huntley. I think anybody's qualified to play.
Well, right, and like the thing is that when they were doing the best catch competition, Diggs looked like an old man out there. I don't know if you guys watched it. It was him versus Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Amon-Ra, he was incredible.
Diggs was probably drunk. He
just he didn't try to do anything cool. Like, he just looked like some random defensive player out there trying to catch like multiple balls at once, where Amon-Ra was doing like tricks through the air and stuff like that.
Okay, we're kind of back on the Pro Bowl, but one quick thing on that.
Mm-hmm.
What's like a Tyler Huntley level Viking where it'd be like, who? Like, you're sending them to the Pro Bowl? Who would be like the
who's our long snapper? Who is the long snapper that
Andrew DePaula?
Yeah, there you go.
He made all pro. He made all pro. So like that's I'm thinking like Jalen Naylor.
I thought that too, or maybe like Jonathan Bullard. I don't know.
And then
Ross Blacklock.
Yeah,
I got a question. If we're playing flag football, why do we need a long snapper?
They didn't actually use the long snapper during that part of the game. It was 7-on-7 games, so like they had, I think, a center. That was all they had for offensive line, and they could use 2 blitzes that they had throughout like each game. So, and they just had to know when they wanted to use them.
That's so stupid. But yeah,
It was
Roger
weird.
Goodell, congrats. You played yourself.
I'm telling you, I watched it. I didn't hate it.
No, it's fine. Yeah,
It was fun. I certainly like
Sometimes
learned
watch.
some more things about flag football and how it does differ from, the NFL and stuff. But and
think
they were learning things
my
too.
whole thing of why I don't like it is when I look at sports, a way of sometimes measuring success for individual players is all-star Pro Bowl appearances. And then when I look at a Pro Bowl like this, where you got several QBs and players who have much rather better things to do, and they fake
Means nothing.
injuries or just say I'm not going, then it makes me what's the word I'm looking for? It's like losing legitimacy, or it's losing. It doesn't mean what it meant. Yeah, exactly.
Now it's like they're using Pro Bowls. You can't use Pro Bowls to like say, oh, this player is better than this player, or this player is more deserving of the Hall of Fame. You just can't. At this point, it's AP All Pro, and that's kind of it.
Right.
No, exactly.
Because when you give a Pro Bowl nod to Tyler Huntley, who threw 2 touchdowns as a backup, and Derek Carr, who got benched this season.
Exactly. It's just and then like it sucks because you put Kirk Cousins' name in that ring, and Kirk Cousins had a really good season. Like
Eric Kendricks has less Pro Bowls in the last 3 years than Tyler Huntley.
Yeah. But
yeah, it's
also back to the officiating, Mikey. Yeah, this year I think we can all agree is trash on the refs. And then Goodell. I mean, honestly, Goodell is like such a big bad. Like I don't know what it is about him. I just look at him as like a movie villain, and I'm like, of course you're siding with like the corporation or the refs because you have them all in your pocket.
Right. Come on. Why don't you side with the fans every once in a while?
Yeah, those guys sucked. I mean, what did you want him to say?
I mean, like, I would like him to say, like, yeah, there's certainly some things, we've got to be constantly evaluating. And we're, if he would have just said that, we have to be constantly evaluating and we're going to be looking to, give you guys the best product and the best football that we possibly can. That would at least go a long way if he just said that. But I guess I did have one more thought on the Pro Bowl. I think it was McAfee that was talking about it, how a way to maybe get some of these all-star players who are just kind of skipping out on the Pro Bowl, if you just increase it's not just the money that they're getting paid, but if you can match it to like their charity.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's reason enough. That's reason enough to go.
Or a patch on your jersey.
Hmm?
Patch on the jersey, patch on the helmet, like they do with the Walter Payton.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree. If you do something little like that, it shows like, oh, this means something. And I think right now that's my problem with the NFL is they're pulling that away. Like
they have the power to make it more prestigious, and they just need to do it.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. I got you. Yeah.
Wait. But, I got something.
Nice. Terry, I noticed that you added something here. Let's talk about this. Tom Brady. I realized that from the last time that we had a show, Tom Brady retired again.
Yeah.
It hit. I will say it hit a little bit easier this time because but also like I wasn't expecting it. I kind of thought after he doesn't have a wife to go home to. Why shouldn't he play for another 2 years if he can get a deal?
No, yeah. I mean, I like the way he did it, and I really I respected it. How he's like, I kind of, already took that sentimental retirement. I don't get that again. Now this one's for the fans. I mean, yeah, it's weird. I mean, to think, just in the sports world, how this last month, how monumental it is. We've had the GOAT of football retire, and then I don't know if you guys saw. I know this is a football broadcast, but last night LeBron James became the all-time scorer in NBA history. I mean, like, how lucky we are of sports fans and just people who watch TV to see some of this historical stuff come to. It's really, I'm thankful for it, and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I think we got to get bask in it, and we're gonna really miss what Tom Brady I think did for this league, and we might not see it instantly, but give me like 3 or 4 years, and you're gonna start realizing, man, like, oh, like you miss that presence of something that's been around in the league for 20 plus years.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, the picture with the Brady brand underwear, that
Oh,
just hot, huh?
Can you believe that? Oh
I
God,
can.
it's the curse. He unfocused my camera.
Oh, nice go. That's the last thing we saw on your screen. But
yeah.
I mean, another thing that we didn't even really talk about. This is going to be really just an excellent Hall of Fame class, I think, in 2028, because J.J. Watt is a first ballot Hall of Famer as well. I'm not sure about it, but I mean, there's the argument. There's the argument that J.J. Watt is kind of the defensive GOAT. I mean,
no Super Bowl.
I can see it. I mean,
no Super Bowl. You're right, but like, just how much he was able to do in such a short time.
Aaron Donald?
Oh, true. I mean, but again, like I said, there's the argument. He's in the conversation.
No, I agree. I think J.J. Watt is like a 50-50 shot of being a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's just like a face. He's a face of the NFL, you know.
And for that reason, I think he is a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer.
Just because he's a face.
I mean, not just because he's a face. I mean, all the things that he's done as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's like the youngest DT to get to 100 sacks or something like that. I mean, there's a lot of things he accomplished that are just absolutely ridiculous, and he has that Super Bowl. That's just it, I think. And I mean, I think especially for sometimes defensive players, that Super Bowl doesn't mean as much for like first ballot Hall of Fame and stuff. I mean, it means
it seems like that's most important for quarterbacks.
Yeah, because I mean, I think the league understands that besides the QB, most other positions, you don't get to just choose to have the ball. The ball has to be moved to you.
Right. No, that's a really good point. And you cut out for just a second before you started talking. You were talking just now about Aaron Donald, yeah?
Yeah. Did you hear when I said? I'm pretty sure he's like the youngest DT to ever get to 100.
Yeah, that was what I thought, because that part of it right before that it cut out. But anyway, yes.
I can't remember what I said, but Aaron Donald.
No. Well, like we got all of that. Other than that, just making sure you were talking about Aaron Donald. So yeah.
Yes, it was Aaron Donald.
Yeah. That's a lot of the stuff that's going on around the league nowadays. But let's look at the Super Bowl. Now we got the Philadelphia Eagles, who, when you look at their schedule and their strength of schedule this year, they had the 32nd easiest schedule, but they certainly showed up and they beat down on bad teams. I mean, some of the closest matchups that they had, I think one of the closest they had was week 1 against Detroit, and it was a slugfest. The only times that they lost with Jalen Hurts in the game, it was to very good teams. I mean,
no, only one time. I think there's only one game they lost with Jalen Hurts in the game, and that was Washington.
Did they lose to the Cowboys with Jalen Hurts in the game, or was that another Gardner Minshew game?
That was Gardner Minshew. The last 2 losses on the season were Gardner Minshew. There might have been a loss, I guess, if Jalen got hurt and Gardner had to come in. But I'm pretty sure they only lost 3 games this year. 2 were Gardner.
Did you guys see the map? The U.S. who's rooting for who in the Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota was green for some reason.
No, I don't know. I don't know anybody who's rooting for the Eagles.
I'm cheering for the Eagles over Chiefs. I'm sorry.
Stop.
No, the Eagles did so well for me in fantasy this year. I kind of owe it to them. It sucks that they beat us, but like that didn't happen in the playoffs, so it doesn't bother me.
No, I guess even going back to their map in the playoffs, their first game was against a Giants team who.
That was for you, Austin.
Yeah, the in-studio
Relentless
audience
booze.
not happy with that opinion. But their first game in the playoffs, the Eagles, they go up against the Giants, who fought a long and tough game against the Vikings. They beat them 38-7. And then when they were going to face their toughest test of the playoffs, it was over right as it started. I mean, the Niners had no chance. They couldn't throw the ball. It was terrible.
Did we do an episode on that yet? Have we discussed that game at all or no?
I don't know that we did.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucked. I mean, it was over when Brock Purdy got injured. But I know we talked about it a little bit. You got to. I've been on that Brock Purdy bandwagon for a little bit, but respect to the player for coming back in after being hurt, knowing that the team had no other option.
Couldn't throw.
I mean, and I'll say this, as much as I do think, that team, I called them quarterback proof for a lot of the season. Josh Johnson wasn't able to hang quite as well. So like I'll give Brock Purdy the credit. He's very good. He's young and he's competent. So
yep.
I'll give him that credit there where it's due. But
let's hope he's ready.
Exactly. Though I mean, he's got to get Tommy John surgery.
He's going to have more time because I think that Brock Purdy injury said he's not starting at the beginning of the season next year.
No, he's out 6 to 9 months.
The hope is, I just read a report today that the hope is that he's ready for training camp.
Hope.
I mean, that's a hope.
But yeah, I mean, and then looking at the Chiefs, I mean, if you look at the two teams, Chiefs definitely had a harder road in the playoffs. Chiefs each and every week had to play against a very capable team that could easily make a run to the playoffs. So, I don't know.
Some very close games. Close games, too. Like,
very close games, yeah.
They all went down to the wire.
Travis Kelce's post-game in the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
Know your role and shut your mouth, jabroni.
Jabroni, yeah.
No, for sure.
That was savage.
The one thing I kind of want to pay attention to is Patrick Mahomes took a little bit of a beating in the playoffs. I mean, I think he'll probably be better now because he's had a couple weeks to rest. But, like, I don't know what it is. Like, he does so well during the seasons, and then the playoffs hit, and then everyone just has his number. And it's like he just always just gets rattled a little bit. So hopefully
he gets rattled, but he also
he gets hurt.
He comes through, though. Like, what they were able to show in the AFC Championship, he was limping off the field after near every drive. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he still can play, even when he has to play like a boring style that isn't the style that we're used to seeing from him. He can still get it done. I mean, and just the way that he's able to keep the play alive is so creative. As much as, like, I want the Chiefs to win, just because I'm not for the Eagles. I'm not for the Eagles, but it's tough. It's tough when you look at all the amazing things that Patrick Mahomes is able to do, and when you look at that Super Bowl loss. I just saw a quote of his today. It said something about how losing a Super Bowl, that will motivate you for years. Super Bowl win is worth a lot, but losing a Super Bowl will motivate you for years. So, as much as I would like to believe, Patrick Mahomes, he can kind of do anything. I don't know about a beat-up Patrick Mahomes and a beat-up Chiefs team versus these Eagles, who have just been incredible. Nice jersey, Carey. That was good.
One thing I'll say, looking at the two teams going into the playoffs, I just feel like the Eagles have a little more firepower, have a little more health than the Chiefs. Now, if this was the Chiefs with Tyreek Hill, I would probably be leaning towards Kansas. But I think the Eagles' defense is good enough that they can hold down the Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes matchup. It's definitely, I think, going to be probably the toughest game Philadelphia has on the season. But let's just not forget, Philadelphia this year it's fair to say they've looked, especially when Jalen Hurts was on the field, they were the best looking team year round from start to finish.
I agree with that. And like that's it. It's hard to say that the Chiefs are going to come out with this one, especially knowing all the injuries and going up against the quality of a team that the Eagles are.
Yeah, I agree completely. But picks? Also, we know you're rooting for the Eagles, but like picks, who do we? I mean, I'm on Chiefs train. I genuinely think they can do it.
Oh, I'm on the Eagles. Don't get me wrong. I think the Chiefs could do it easily too. I think we are very lucky. This is probably going to be the most explosive Super Bowl we've had since the Atlanta Patriots game. I have a feeling this is just going to be a very high scoring, offensive orientated game. But I'm going with Philadelphia just because I think they have more weapons and they're healthier.
What about score? I'm thinking Chiefs. Oh, geez, 31-30.
I'll go Philadelphia 42, Chiefs 38.
I'm thinking Philadelphia 38, Chiefs 33. And again, like I said, I want the Chiefs. I just don't. I'm not.
I think they got it.
Not with the Eagles, and I want them to, but it's hard to bet against these Eagles this year. It really is. And when they've had a lot of just some blowout wins. They've beat good teams, they've beat bad teams, but I do think that it's going to be a close game. So,
I agree too. I think, and I don't want to like speak down on the Chiefs because they truly are a great team. They've accomplished a lot. It's just when you look at and this is just on paper right now because I'm giving the win from looking on paper. It's just the Chiefs have the Eagles have so many weapons that it's just absolutely ridiculous. They have 3 capable running backs. We've talked about how this league has gone to a 2 running back like duo team. The Chiefs are a 3 running back team, 4 if you include Jalen Hurts himself.
And you're talking Eagles again, yeah.
Eagles, yeah.
But the Chiefs, you can actually make the same point for the Chiefs too. As well. I mean, Jerick McKinnon, Isaiah Pacheco has started to make a splash a little bit too.
So whatever happened to Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Did he get thrown into Aaron Rodgers' dark mystery box, or
they just weren't satisfied with him?
I thought he was fine, and then out of nowhere they just
he's the odd man out.
Robinson. I feel like those 2 guys are just like starting caliber. Like Clyde Edwards-Helaire was a Pro Bowl running back last year. I'm pretty sure.
I wonder if it's maybe something to do with maybe work mentality, or maybe it's something that we as fans just aren't able to see on the field. It's probably like something like that. What is it again, Mike? Is it Pacheco?
Yeah, Pacheco. He's number 10 now.
What's his first name?
Isaiah
Pacheco. I mean, he just came in this year very hot. And I mean, like, once he started getting that ball rolling, I think it was a clear, like, okay, yep, because with Clyde the last couple of years, it's just been a constant, like, yeah, he's doing good, but this isn't what we had our kind of hopes for. We expected a little bit more. And I don't think he was
Wait a minute. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has been on IR this whole time.
Well, that would explain it.
Yeah, they just activated him, though.
I missed that, though.
You're right.
Even before, he was losing snaps to Jerick McKinnon mostly. Yeah. Isaiah Pacheco, I think he really kind of started to come on a little bit later in the season. It wasn't right away from week 1. But
no, it wasn't. But
honestly, Jerick McKinnon has been kind of their most consistent running back throughout this year.
Okay, I guess
you see it. I mean, he did really great when he was a Viking. I mean,
they've activated Clyde Edwards-Helaire off of IR, and he's expected to play in the Super Bowl.
This changes things. I mean, not really. I mean, but it could.
I mean, yeah, you might get him put in there, but I can't imagine he's coming in and getting 20 touches. Especially with how, like we said, with
he'll be there.
Pacheco.
No, but he won't need to get 20 touches. None of those running backs are going to need 20 touches. That's the great thing about.
No, exactly.
They don't have one single workhorse running back. Neither of these teams do.
Got a hot take.
Yeah.
hot take. We're gonna see from the Eagles some weird play involving Jason Kelce. I don't know how it's gonna work.
Oh yeah, that just feels right. There's gonna be like a new. It's gonna be
It's-
Philly 2. It's gonna be all over social media. It's part of the script. It's gonna be the Philly special 2.
Yeah, and it's gonna be Jason Kelce because it's the battle of the brothers, and he's been like talking to the coach all week, like, "Hey, I know it's the Super Bowl. I know I shouldn't be selfish, but I'm playing against my brother." And they're gonna like somehow work him in.
Here's a hot take. We get multiple snaps with Travis Kelce on defense.
They switch. Jason Kelce goes to tight end, and because they have that segment on their show where they talked about who would be better at the other person's position. And honestly, I agree. I think it's easier for a center to go to tight end than I think a tight end to go to a center.
Yeah, probably. I mean, just because of the, all of the mental work that goes into offensive line,
So are they going to show like the parents, and are they going to be wearing like those split jerseys?
Yeah, haven't you already seen it? The mom
they
already did something. They already did something with the mom, and she was wearing like the split jersey and whatnot.
Did you hear there was a petition to get her to do the coin toss?
Really?
There was actually, and they asked her what she thought about it, and she said they always like they had Joe Namath do it one year and blah blah blah. And they usually have some big prominent NFL figure do the coin toss, and she said like there are plenty of NFL people who have it's a dream of theirs to do a coin toss at the Super Bowl. I do not want to be the person to stand in the way of that. And NFL people everywhere were commending her for that, for having the self-awareness to go, no, I'm not even a football player. I just happen to create these two gentlemen and produce them into the world.
Was it the Super Bowl that was in Minneapolis? I'm thinking of the coin toss. I think it was like President H.W. Bush.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Super Bowl. It might have been Super Bowl. It's either Super Bowl or World Series because the World
I watched
Series
it. I wouldn't have watched the World Series. I definitely watched it, so it was a Super Bowl.
Huh? Yeah, did you botch it or something?
Wheeled out there, and he basically just dropped the coin.
Hey, the guy was like, let's give
Rip.
him credit. He was
Rip. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I feel like we're not talking about enough. Look at us, guys.
Audio.
For those who are listening, I mean, come on, but like, look at us.
Yeah,
it's huge. I mean, we were kind of hoping to do this at the beginning of season 3. Here we are. It's probably season 2.5. We would agree.
Yeah, this is we're wrapping up the end of season 2 here. I mean, that was kind of when we started to introduce some new things last season. I mean,
well, hopefully, maybe this season can end on a little bit of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I mean, I no spoilers, but I know we do have something in the works.
It's something
coming up
big. Something big.
Something real big. Something real big and strong.
Like crap your pants big.
Like something
very,
very big. I think you're gonna like honestly, like this is not just oh, it's big, we're moving to video. No. This is a big deal. So just keep an eye out. It'll be soon.
Yeah.
What other than that, do you guys have anything else that you would like to add?
Glad to be here.
Me too.
Yeah, very good.
I don't know where Austin's Twitter is. I don't know why his isn't appearing on his icon, but
well, I saw you guys try to put it down in like the ticker and you did it wrong, but it was fine.
That would have been Mikey.
I didn't think I did it wrong, but
there's an underscore somewhere.
Is there not an underscore in the ticker?
Well, if there is, I can't see it.
Let's see. At Austin Southers, there should be an underscore. You are right. That's on me. I can fix that right now.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll get it for the next episode.
Oh, no. I'm worried about it. Check it out. Here it comes. It's coming. There it is.
Bingo.
At Austin Southers underscore.
Was there really already an Austin Southers taken that you had to add an underscore at the end?
Yeah, I think I created a Twitter account one time with like my school email. And then once the school email got deleted, I lost that account. No, it was something weird. It's like I had 2 at one point, didn't use one, and then when I recreated to actually make mine to use, I had to use the underscore. So I do think it was my fault for losing it, but I don't know why I was more partial to the
shout out to StreamYard. I mean, they didn't. I'm not getting paid to say that or anything, but like, couldn't do it without that app. I mean, this thing is awesome.
Shout out! Look at that, powered by StreamYard, right over there.
It's actually right here on my screen. But
yeah,
what?
Super good.
It's cool.
It's super fun.
Yeah, no, it's great. Thanks for joining us. It's been.
Wait, Austin, if you go like this, does it look like you're like lifting Mikey and I up?
Wait.
Whoa! This is fun. We have fun. We have fun.
Oh,
but
we have fun.
Do it for us. Make sure you check us out wherever you get a podcast. What?
We need to get a ball, and then like I could like throw the ball up in the air, and then Mikey, you could like catch the ball and then like throw it to Carrie. Yeah.
There we go.
We'll get there.
Austin, sidearm coming at you. I'm so delayed.
All right. So that's it. Catch us next time. See you, folks. What's up, everybody? We didn't forget about you. This after show is still going strong. Thank you. All right. Settle down.
You know, more people are gonna find out about this, especially like on the YouTube channel, because they're gonna see the show ended, but there's like another 15 minutes of like video left.
Oh well.
Oh, I could edit in like a thing that's like, I'll do like the little thing that's like going to like the watch now or like going to start a new video. So then they like exit out of it real quick,
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how I can integrate this into more like zingers and whoa,
Cool. Here's a question for you guys. Some obscure musical instruments. You ever play in like, all these weird little percussion things? Do you have a favorite obscure musical instrument?
No, now that you speak of that, I just watched a video of like some person, I think it was the BK song, that they were going around like their like musical room with like the weird like water pan or stuff like that. Like there's like 7 different like xylophone setups that are all uniquely named. Carrie's nodding his head like I know what you're talking about. So
marimba, vibraphone, xylophone, the list goes on.
Yeah, so I'm not musically inclined, but what's the one? It looks like it's a hunk of wood with like a hole in it, kind of like a guitar, and then it has a bunch of like small little like metal things that you can like clip. Like
that's I believe that's just called a calypso.
A calypso. There we go.
I don't know if that's correct.
I'll look it up quick.
I got it.
But I like the name calypso.
There's one. I just thought of this because I just recently. Well, I just found out the name. I'll play you a sample of what it sounds like.
Don't tell me. It's a flexotone.
You're right. That's a flexotone. I really enjoy that one.
Ah, gosh. I'm trying to remember what yours is called.
It's not a calypso. It's not a calypso.
I can't even picture it.
I can try and give a better description. So yeah, it's a hunk of wood. It's about this big.
Like a rectangle?
Yep. And you grip it like this, and you kind of go boom, dong, 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 dong.
And they kind of come down like this. The middle ones
They're
are
little
longer.
forks. It's like a little fork.
They go up like it's like ding ding ding. Yeah.
Okay, so kind of like a little harp almost.
Yeah, it's not strings. I would say it's probably more similar to like a piano.
Gotcha.
But a piano also uses strings, I guess. But
figure out.
I literally just saw a video of somebody playing one today too.
Lamellophone, I believe.
Lamellophone.
Lamellophone.
Huh. Carrie, how about you? What do you?
Yeah, it's a lamellophone, Austin.
Lamellophone. Even though I like the name Calypso better.
Carrie, what about you?
Hold on. I'm sharing my screen so you can see Mikey.
Okay. I'm waiting so patiently.
Might take too long. For me, I don't know. Is there a correct answer to this, Mikey?
No. I was just wondering. I just, I wanted to talk about the flexotone. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom. Here we go.
Oh my.
Lamellophone.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about. That's a cool one.
Cool. Second. Okay. For me, let's see here. I mean, there are so many. I've always been a huge fan. This was my first when I was a freshman. Oh Jesus! When I was a freshman at Little Falls in jazz band, I was given the opportunity to play the Euro in Jazz 1, and that was my first induction into Jazz 1. Was playing the Euro. So that's you get a little stick, and it's about the shape of a potato, and then it's got a hole in it. You grip it like a bowling ball, and you go.
And it's got all the ridges and stuff on it, right?
Yep, I played it for a Latin piece. And that was my first credited performance in the top jazz band group in high school when I was a freshman.
I love it. That's great. Is that the same one that often comes in the shape of a frog?
Yes. Yep. You can get them in a frog as well, and they're a little bit higher pitched. Those ones are wood and they're smaller, but yeah.
Cool.
But otherwise, they're plastic or wood. Yep. The Euro.
Good. I was also thinking about some things, from the past. Do you guys remember Coney 2012? You guys know we never caught Coney?
Wasn't that fake too, though?
Well, I mean, like, I think the guy who was like promoting it, I think maybe the things that people were donating to.
So for some of the baby boomer listeners out there, or people who maybe don't know what Coney 2012 is, maybe you should give a little refresher, a little rundown.
So
I don't even say I'd say people just born after 2005 probably don't know about Coney 2012.
Well, right, Coney 2012. It was a whole movement online. Everybody was posting about this guy Joseph Kony, who was in Uganda, and he had this
children
kind of cultish army of children that just did his bidding.
Yeah, but I remember.
There was more to it than that. I know there was a whole video and stuff, but the whole big thing, I remember how huge that was. Coney 2012. Everybody, we all have to do our part to catch Coney. We never caught him. It's been over 10 years. This seemed like it was so important. How have we not caught this guy?
Because I have a feeling it wasn't entirely true, or a lot of this stuff was more of. Because I'm pretty sure the guy did that so you could go buy stuff, and he took all the money.
Well, right. But Coney is still like a dangerous warlord. I don't think the story is wrong.
So
I think
with the 2012 at
guy,
the end, was he trying to run for like president, or what was with the 2012?
well, it was during 2012. The goal was to catch him by the time 2012 was over. I don't know. I just thought about that again today. I'm like, God, we never did catch Coney, did we? And I looked it up, and we haven't. No, he's still out there somewhere. Nobody
Maybe
really
he's
knows.
our one listener in Germany.
No, he's like Central Africa. No, yeah, he's still Joseph Kony. He's still out there. Yeah.
It's messed up, huh? Come on, people. I thought social media was supposed to be this magical thing that, brought people together and we could do amazing things, fight for a stronger cause. But
yeah, there are times where like someone's like, hey, this person on the subway who I've never seen before in a different country just gave me $5. Twitter, help me out. And then they find them and like their name and their job and everything about them within like a week. But we haven't found this like sexual predator from 2012.
Well, he lives
with
in
an
South
army
Sudan.
of children.
And he says
was that Austin?
He lives in South Sudan. It says he's still giving orders to his fighters. But yeah, no, I don't know. He describes himself as a freedom fighter struggling for a Christian Uganda, is what he said. Yeah.
While we're on the topic of other things that may have been scams, you guys remember booby bracelets? Apparently that was all a scam too.
I mean, we weren't allowed to wear them at school. Our teachers would take them off. If for those, they were I Heart Boobies, and they were for breast cancer, I believe.
Well, that was what the story was. The story was that they were for breast cancer awareness, but that was another thing where the guy was just pocketing the money and their big thick rubber bracelets that said I Heart Boobies, and middle schoolers got in trouble all the time for wearing them. I wonder if that is still around.
You know what I want to know that I always thought was a scam? Those fighting necklaces.
I had a fighting.
Kids,
love
yeah, and kids, and like they're like, it helps you with your balance, and I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's literally 2 shoelaces tighter. It's what it is.
Or like those little the balance bands. It had like the 2 little metallic circles on either side of your wrist, and that was supposed to like change your life, like help your balance and like make you more flexible and stuff.
Yeah, what was it? One had like it was like a mountain from like a spring up in the mountain, and then one was like from the Black Sea or something like the Dead Sea. Yeah, something stupid like that.
All right, here we go. This is 2008. Fightin claims that its necklaces, bracelets, and titanium-infused clothing produce an electrical charge that relieves pain and increases energy as well as blood circulation. 2008, according to ScienceLine.org, many doctors and scientists say there's no scientific evidence supporting Fightin's theory. There's no science and physiology, says Dr. Orrin Sherman, chief of sports medicine at the New York University Hospital for Joint Diseases.
People really will just believe whatever you tell them, right?
Yep.
I still liked it. I didn't wear it for the health benefits. I wore it because I thought it looked cool.
I thought they were
The simpler time. I gotta find my fighting. Let's bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back.
Yeah.
Like wear it to like a 2010 themed party with your boobies bracelet and your Coney 2012 shirt.
And you got to get those glasses, the plastic ones that like have those the lines.
It's like the blinds, yeah.
Oh, I was just thinking like the plastic sunglasses that you would get at like any middle school dance, or like they all have the same shape and everything. They're all colored.
The studded belt too, and
yeah, they have the little things here and
old school DCs, like really bulky shoes. Yeah, it'll be good.
Ugh. But yeah.
You could have like a photo of Adrian Peterson on the screen of your phone, like the lock screen of your phone. He's gonna break the record next year. It's like 2012. You're like, he's gonna do it. They're saying there's some sort of charge pending, but I don't believe it.
I don't think he did it.
Can I quote you on that, Mike?
No, he did it. He did it.
He did.
Let's talk about some other. So Ray Lewis.
He was at the Pro Bowl.
No, what I'm saying, didn't he like kill a guy?
I think I want to say his friends like took the fall for him.
And there are other people like Tyreek Hill and like these guys who have had recent domestic things that just kind of. Alvin Kamara, didn't Alvin Kamara beat a dude up at the Pro Bowl last year?
He did. Joe Mixon has a warrant out for his arrest now because
that's already been settled
at somebody.
That's already been settled.
It has?
Yep, the Cincinnati court took away the charge.
Jeez. I mean, still, when something, sure, they took away the charge, but it's still crazy when something like that happens, you know, like these wealthy
well, I think
people.
They're saying that it didn't happen, like it was made up.
Interesting. I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we weren't there.
No, I wasn't there. But yeah, these wealthy people they still have nothing better to do sometimes than just, you know, get involved in petty problems.
Austin, I see you got your Bucks beanie on. Did you hear about they might trade D'Lo?
One more time, what?
The Wolves might trade D'Lo.
Who? I don't like the Timberwolves.
Oh, there's like a 3-team trade that is there's having discussions on. It would be Westbrook, I think, is in on it, and like some other thing. Let me look.
I mean, depending.
We're looking at the Lakers, Jazz, and Timberwolves are in discussions on a 3-team deal that would send D'Angelo Russell to the Lakers, Russell Westbrook, and draft compensation, such as a first-round pick to the Utah Jazz, and Mike Conley Jr. to Minnesota.
I don't like that for Minnesota. I mean, I think we're getting the worst out of the 3 point guards at the moment. Mike Conley's a little old. D'Lo is really young. I'm surprised LA wants him because I guess all those players are gone. But he got in a lot of trouble with the locker room because he was playing with Nick Young during the time when Nick Young was seeing Iggy Azalea, and Nick Young was cheating on her, and then like D'Angelo shared like the text messages or something. So that'd be surprising. If we could get Westbrook, I think that'd be a little exciting, but I still don't think we need him. Like I said, I'm not a Timberwolves fan. I stopped liking the Timberwolves about over 10 years ago when we got Thibodeau. I usually don't watch a lot of Timberwolves basketball because I just don't like the organization. I'm a Bucks.
Could you imagine if we had like TJ Hawkinson at like power forward or something like that?
You'd be undersized. I think he's small. You got to understand that power forward position. Like typically, if you're like 6'8", you're considered small at that position. And like that's why like
right, yeah.
So he would be more of like probably a small forward, but he probably wouldn't have the speed. But I don't know. I've never seen TJ Hawkinson on a basketball court. I'm just going off of what I've seen. I just don't think he would have the speed. Basketball is a hard sport. I'm really sorry. I think that's some of the most athletic. I would argue basketball is the most athletic sport that we have currently in like popularity in America. But yeah,
probably right there.
Hockey's probably not too far away. Those guys are freak athletes, but I just think overall more conditioning is involved in basketball. Hockey, you get to take some periodic breaks. Basketball, you do too, but if you're a big player, you're still playing 38 minutes a game.
Right, in hockey, no matter what, even if you're the MVP, you take your 20-second shift and you get off the ice, you know?
No, exactly, yeah.
Mikey, hockey player.
Former, yeah. But whatever happened to Ricky Rubio? Is he still playing?
Still in the league. What team is he on? I think he's in Cleveland right now, playing with K Love, which is funny. It's their duos. Still really good passer, really good playmaker. He never really panned out to the European star that they thought he would have been. But I mean, I think he's been in the league for 15 years, so he's had a very good career. But right now we're at the period where we're starting to see European basketball players are becoming the best basketball players in the league right now. The two, I think, front runners for the MVP race is Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic, which are two just like what is
Don't
it?
forget
Western.
Antetokounmpo.
Oh yeah, the Greek freak. Yeah, him too. I just think this year Jokic and especially Luka Doncic, they've just been playing a little more out there. But yeah, Giannis, in my opinion, he's the most dominating player in the league right now.
This is our year, a Minnesota basketball show.
A Minnesota, not Timberwolves basketball show.
Yeah, the Minnesota / Milwaukee Bucks basketball show.
All right, gents. Well, I think I'm going to probably make some dinner. This is awesome, though. We look so good.
It's a good dynamic. I really enjoy it. I like that I can see you guys. It's nice.
It helps, yeah, from us cutting each other off. So I think we're going to be getting a lot more. Yeah, we will. Clean.
It still happens.
Stop it.
Yep.
Stop. I have the speaking stick. I have the speaking stick right now. I speak.
Can you hand me the speaking stick, please? Just pass it up.
I'm punching Mikey in the face.
Oh!
I threw it to you, Mikey.
Oh.
Intercepted. I've got it.
No. I don't have it. Well, I suppose that's it then, huh?
It is.
Yep.
This will be fun.
Alrighty. Later, boys.
How do we get out of here? We just end recording?
But hold on.
End recording?
Wait. Yeah, but what we got to do. Go.
Go.
Let's go. I thought we were going to try to do it insane.